Oh, hey there, YouTube friends. How we doing?
Hello.
We're on the
Hi,
YouTube
guys.
again.
Welcome back.
How you doing?
We do this again.
What's up?
We doing this again.
We doing this again because it worked pretty
Yeah.
okay last time. So fuck it.
Okay-ish. Okay.
It
But
okay
hey, we're doing it
enough.
again.
It worked okay
Okay.
enough, and
So,
that's pretty much what I do. Okay enough.
we make it happen because we run on hopes and dreams, brother.
Yeah,
No.
I hopes, dreams, and like 5 hours of sleep on Mother's Day working in a restaurant, and yeah, it's great. I love it. We're doing great.
Thanks for doing the work because it's much needed. I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody who had to put on the boots today. So
Yep.
thank you.
And also,
But let's-
happy Mother's Day for anyone watching who is either with their mother or
Happy Mother.
is a mother. So there you go. So.
It's just like it just hit me that I was just at the store and I didn't even like. I
What
was,
up,
like, getting all
Dorky?
this-
How you doing?
What up? Cookie? I was getting all the stuff for just to make a meal, and I'm like, damn. My mother, she has to hear this thing 3 times today. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Happy Mother's Day. I'm sure they're just like, I love you too. You know, like
Mhm.
I don't know, because I know for me, for one, birthdays, I'm like, please, just don't make it a big thing because it's really the most awkward thing for me. It's always been
Yeah.
that since I was a kid, I hated that happy birthday. I'm like,
Mhm,
no, it's weird. Stop.
Did your parents ever have them sing to you in a restaurant for pure torture? And
That's
that
I
definitely
always- I always-
definitely didn't happen at a Red Lobster. It's
oh
fine.
my god.
I
It-
expressly asked them not to fucking do it. And my father was
always-
like, "You went to the bathroom. You've made a mistake."
You have allowed me the opportunity to embarrass you.
Yes. He was like, "You have chosen poorly." And I was like, "Oh god!" And then they all came at me and like, "Happy birthday!" Just-
Like, you look for the knife and can I slide under the table?
I was like, "How many people can I kill with a crab cracker?"
About 7 if you do it right. About
You do it
7.
the
I
right
saw
way.
John Wick.
Yeah,
I saw John Wick. Fucking pencil.
yeah,
But
wild.
anyway, enough. Happy Mother's Day, guys.
Yes.
Seriously, I was just being a jerk because that's just what I do. But we're here to talk Toku. Actually, we're here to sell you some stuff. You ready to buy some stuff? We're here to sell you some stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I bought some fucking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a toy to show, don't we?
Yeah,
we
I have
stuff.
2 actually. The first one is my final DGP form, which is Zombie and Monster.
Ooh, that's the
I
final
got,
form.
yeah, I got this little guy, this little angry bastard, this little angry Fisher Price toy.
I love the colors of it, man. The colors are so
It's-
clean.
It's really cool, and it's something that's really grown on me because the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
I think it's a natural reaction because it's just like it's okay, all right.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. So I have grown to love this form over the years, even though everyone who uses it I fucking hate. Naj Sparrow specifically, I despise that character, and I'm so glad he got what was coming this week. Whoops.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Yeah, I saw the clip. I didn't watch the episode yet, but yeah,
sorry.
it's fun. You guys should watch this week's episode. So
We will.
specifically,
Actually,
weirdly enough, the smart guy uses the punchy boy one. So I don't know. He's not a very good punchy boy, and he brings shame to the rest of us. So
That's why he gave it up, though, right?
yeah, sure. Let's go with
No.
that.
I like it.
Yeah, I really like this form a lot, and the more I see it being used, the more I'm like, yeah, I would square up with that thing. And obviously, I have a buffer problem, so that's a buffer problem. I don't know if it's a problem, but it's a problem for. I don't know. It's not a problem for me, so whatever. The only thing that would make this literally my final form is when the Mary ID core shows up, and I put the Mary ID core right in there.
I understand, and
Yeah.
this is gonna happen. We have to make that happen. I'm sorry, bro.
Oh, it's absolutely going to happen.
Sorry, it hasn't yet, but it will. Actually, now I'm kicking okay. I think we dabbled it before, but legit, what is a final form for Buffett at this point? Like, holy crap.
So he's gonna get like Zombie Mark II, something like that, which I'm here for.
He's gonna become the bull.
He is the bull. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. What's up, Mark? Listen, Daichi is trash, booty butt cheeks, and he can die on whatever retired hill he's going to. So
now, because I'm not caught up, he is not a Jamato. He's still
no, he never was. He just is an agent of chaos.
Okay, just making sure.
That's all. He just enjoys sowing chaos across the lands. So that's his whole shtick. But yeah, Mark, a nerd named Mark here, specifically asked like what revolve this would be specifically, and it would be monster on top and zombie on the bottom, because like I told you, you have to create the tombstone boxing ring for squaring up in. Because the only way this is going to happen is when tombstones encase us, and then you just square the fuck up.
But that kick, that zombie kick.
That zombie kick is so dope, and like he's doing all kinds of shenanigans with his feet now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's just ever since like whenever the one before he premieres the Jamaity, he just started doing crazy like zombie hand things everywhere, whether it's on the top or the bottom. So yeah, it's fine.
Well, he has the Uber power now, right? He legitimately he's on New Game. He's on New Game Plus, where everybody is still like,
and it's just the fever buckle. Like there's nothing that changes other than his actual suit. And someone put the theory out there that it's kind of like video game power up, where like the cape is his defensive shield because everyone hits him and like they can't touch him, and the horns are his power upgrade and why he's so strong. So that was the whole like theory behind it.
He's not even.
No, he has a literal force field on him that the riders cannot touch. So they hit it and it go boom, boom, boom. So the monster also came with the Punk Jack ID core, which is pretty cool. I didn't expect that because I don't pay attention to these things. So yeah, I don't like Punk Jack's helmet, but it's dope because it's a little trolley helmet. So because Mary is the next one. So.
Nice little surprise.
Yeah,
it's the nice ones.
Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, that's the monster. I would play it, but it's extremely loud. So.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay.
The whole belt is just very loud. I'll put it over here. But yeah, so like you can. I'll take this out and. That's it by itself, and then you can take them both out, and the real obnoxiousness comes when they're both in there.
That's the good stuff, though. They are all loud, but they're all fucking amazing.
Yep. That's it, and that's it. Then the game over, and then revolve change.
Actually, it's already done. He's already de-entering.
Yeah. I did notice. The only thing is the monster eyeballs. They get stuck. You have to push in pretty hard to get this thing going. There you go.
Nice.
So. Yeah, that's the zombie buckle, monster buckle. Yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Dope, brother.
It's cool. So, yeah, if you ever want to catch me in the DGP, just get ready to hold these fucking zombie hands. That's all.
I mean, but it's like you said, the shit grew on you. Like
yeah,
all these.
It really did, because like the first time when Geets like unlocked it with his egg thing. I don't know if you remember, but I was like, what the fuck is that? Because he just like started punching stars and like fists at people. And I was like, what is happening?
It was the first time where I was like, I don't know if I like this. You know, like
that was the first buckle where I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the other than like the bullshitty ones, the ones that are obviously
the armed whatevers, like those from the get go we knew were kind of whatever,
But that was the first one that took me off guard. But now I see it. Yeah. The colors are every time I see the colors, I'm like, beautiful.
Mark and I were actually talking on Twitter, and he mentioned wanting to customize his into Destroya themed colors, and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it that obnoxious yellow and blue.
Curious what that would palette to look like.
Like a red and black, or like a dark red and red.
You know what? I want to see it.
It'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool.
I do want to see that.
So yeah, that was my new Geats toy. Yeah, I absolutely hated the monster buckle at first too. But like I said, I mean, the whole like boxing aspect really spoke to me. When I realized you could take both the hands and go like this and just fucking Takuma run at someone, I was like, that's the fucking one. Yeah, he's and also imagine being like, oh, we have to get how many Jamato? Okay. Tombstones just around all of the ones you need to kill, and then you're ready to go. Ready to fucking party. Let's go. Takuma run. Hold my little orange hand foot, and then also hold these hands. Like, fucking, let's go.
It doesn't, it's inspiring me to like really think about the gimmicks that we're creating for our own project, because I want that kind of catchiness.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like not trying to copy something, I end up copying something. So
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, how do I do this? Because that's just alone. You know what my favorite part of the zombie thing is? Legitimately, it's that shit at the end of it.
Absolutely.
And it's that little thing that stays with you. So I want to capture that little thing that'll stay with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I feel that. And I feel like that's what a lot of the gimmicks that stick with you do. They have that one little thing that like digs in there, never lets it fucking go. Like high touch.
It is
high touch.
It's a genius thing. It's genius. I know they have teams, and like there's people who are like losing hours and days and years of sleep.
There's probably like a team of psychologists who are like, how can we gambling machine this into every dopamine thing you possibly have?
Legit. But it's like the sound mixing people have to dream the shit up. Like that's the one thing up just beneath the design, because the design alone is like how do you even begin? And then you think about it, and then as we're doing ours, it's starting to piece together how that happens. But the one thing that eludes me very much so is audio. So like how bro, how do you dream up a certain little sound that you've never heard before? Like I never heard the sound effects that come from the oh my god, the Vision driver alone. You know what I mean? That thing is synth
loading
wavy, which is just somebody who's jamming on their keyboard, but like still sounds dope. That's all I'm saying.
It's one of those things where like when I do that stuff, like when I'm editing the videos and things like that, or like specifically when I did like Kamen Rider the Fighting, I mean, one, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the start select noise that I picked was literally just Super Smash Brothers. It was literally just the Super Smash Brothers one. So I don't know if you guys caught that. Proud of you. Good shit. Y'all know. If you didn't, it's fine. I don't know. Yeah.
You're all right.
Yeah. So, that's kind of the thing too. Like it's one of those things where like you dive into something like a fighting game specifically, since we're talking about that, and you realize just like how many layers there are to these things. Like there's stepping sounds, there's punching sounds, there's ripple effects on the fucking Hadouken, that it not only has the like Hadouken, it also has the actual sound effect, it has the fucking crackle, it has, and we did our kind of, speaking of what we're going to be talking about a little bit today, we did our belt gimmick noises that I played, and I can share them again if you guys want to hear those, and we will. And a lot of it was like that, right? Like it was kind of layering sounds till we kind of got it to like what sounded pretty cool. Because like on mine, there's like a lava noise just like under everything. There's like that. There's like a little bit of like a rain noise and some crack. I mean, part of that was also the clip that we were using, but there's some other things that there's like a drip and all this, a heartbeat even, and like it's cool to almost like experiment with that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's a lot of what that job might entail. When it comes to like layering and experimenting with sounds like that until it feels just right.
The heartbeat thing was really big in Revice too. So yeah, you're right. I remember that the heartbeat was in Veils, was in Deathstream, was in Revice itself. Yeah. All of them had some kind of,
and like a lot of them too are reused. Like I don't know if you've heard. I think you actually sent it to me. It was the belt like equip noise. It's like been the same noise for like 30 goddamn years.
It's always like, and every time they pick it up, it's that same chunky ass metal clanky noise.
It's the same, except for like Kugo, which I think is like, and that's it.
Hey, let's do that again, because that's always right here. That's right here. That's it. Let's go, baby.
That's it.
Let's go time.
But we will put a pin in that because
Yes.
that has to do with our grander topic for the day. What's going on, Gary?
What up, bro?
You don't have a lot of toys for once. I don't believe that, first off. You don't have a lot of new toys. Let's clarify. I don't believe bought a bed at Dinah and Guy on DVD. Okay, Dinah's poopy doo doo caca, but that's fine.
I think one of our guys is going through an Ultraman session right now.
A little bit.
Don't scare him.
A little bit.
Don't scare him too much. Good luck when you get to Dinah, brother. Good luck, because
Mark's mentioning that nothing from Blade has been reused because it's perfect and untouchable. It's true.
perfect.
Except y'all can't get past that fucking bench. Let me tell you.
that bench, that quarry,
The quarry,
beach.
the bench, the beach, the Legion Beach / AG versus Dino Man Beach / they used it in the kids movie, I think.
We got to try to do some kind of list of that, of like the most used places
Yes.
again, and then just figure out where they've been and how many times they've been used. Because holy shish kebab,
Vilson,
that quarry
I don't know if you
alone-
remember Vilson from the Henshin Rio, the Brazilian guys.
Oh,
The Brazilian dudes. How are you? If you guys see this, miss you guys.
What up, bro?
He's been doing tokusatsu locations ever since we had him on the show.
Right.
Yeah, so we could probably use that as a little reference.
Yeah, maybe that's where it came from. But it's just the whole thing, like that whole concept of where they come up with the shit, where they do this stuff. To us, it's becoming more of a reality. To me, it's been my entire reality for a year. So, it feels like I know a year has gone by, but it feels like only in the last, I don't know, 3 months has the concrete formed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
I mean, because it was also like it was one of those things where we were just like
amorphous thing.
Yeah, like we also have tried to make a rider before, and honestly, it was shit. Looking back at it,
it was not shit. Don't say that. About
Hiraiko was pretty shit. Hiraiko was pretty shit. The idea was cool, but the actual thing we produced was pretty shit.
It was.
So if you guys don't remember, I don't remember what episode it was. We did it way many moons ago. At this point, we talked about a little thing called Kamen Rider Hiraiko, and that was a Kamen Rider that we had dreamed up, and it was kind of this. It wasn't. I feel like it wasn't actually too far off from like kind of what Geats ended up being, except they were like sponsored by corporations instead.
We were talking about like our idea of what Fies could have been. You know what I mean? Like we developed Fies' plot a little deeper.
Oops.
Oops. I legitimately had to check.
Like twitching it in my hand. Oh man.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What say you?
So I cat's out of the bag, I guess. I was trying not to interrupt it. But yeah, so we were making Kamen Rider Hiraiko, which is this old school thing that we did many moons ago, and it was basically they ended up using like jewels, and it was based on the Saint Beasts and all this kind of stuff. Still a cool idea. I'm still totally down for that. But
we had more of a Saint Seiya vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost more like literally episode 3. Thank you, Dorky. I know you've been listening to the old ones. Thank you. That is back in 2019. Good fucking Christ.
3?
Episode 3 in 2019. Oh my god. We're old, man.
Okay.
We're fucking old now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So thanks for sticking with us, guys.
Yeah.
We just had a bit of a moment right there.
Yeah, so it's I have to listen to the episode again, honestly, because I don't even remember what we talked about. Other than there was like, I know we had a Genbu, a Seiryu, a Suzaku, and a
Hiraiko, yeah.
Yeah, they had the 4 Saint Beasts. Why am I not? Byakko. There we go. Byakko. Byakko was the main one, and then each of them had like a different weapon because they were the main rider. It was very like. When I was coming up with ideas, it was like very wizard inspired, like with those kind of things where like each one did something specific and they would just kind of round robin through them. I just remember Genbu did like a fucking like chamber punch shit for its final attack.
Something like that.
Something like that, because he was a punchy boy. Of course he was. Of course he was. That was like my form. I was like, I'm gonna pop the fuck off in this form. So. Yeah.
And I think I had Jedi, which was just like this mask.
It changed masks. Yeah. It was like emotion masks, like theater masks.
It was based on stages and masks. So like each mask would do a new power plus a new emotion. So it was like the two of those together.
And then there was a generational aspect to it where like we had the past and then the future. And then basically Proto Iska was one of the riders and he died. I forget what we called him, but he was a dinosaur themed rider that would equip scrolls into his bracer.
We had a name, Rex.
Yes, that's what it was. It was Kamen Rider Rex, I believe. But yeah, he would equip bracers or scrolls into a bracer, and that would like put him into a primal form kind of thing. And that's kind of where the primal rider idea came from, honestly.
We dig them primal rider things.
Yeah. So I like lizardy, angry rider boys. So yeah, it all stemmed from somewhere is my point. This seed has been cooking for a hot minute.
So it just ties back into the whole thing where it I might not understand it, but because I don't is where the magic comes from. Mm-hmm. So that is where I'll leave that, because what we are good at is fucking world building. We are hella good at that. Like
Gary's asking if the masks were like the Shadow Khan generals from the Jackie Chan Adventures. I genuinely don't remember these guys at all.
You know who you know who was an inspiration for Jedi? It was Hexadecimal from Reboot, where every time she would wipe her face, it would be a new face.
Oh yes.
Yes. That's really where I pulled that idea from.
Yeah, because the whole thing was like like you were saying, the theater masks, and like each one would be a form.
Yeah. It was like, how can I? Because of the stage idea was just the theatrics behind it. It was I don't know. I dreamt up this whole as garish as Kamen Rider Mach is. I wanted bigger. You know what I mean? Like I wanted
more obnoxious.
So, but that's why I went with that shit. But yeah, Hexadecimal. She used to creep me out, dude.
She's still terrifying.
Yeah, as freaky as Megabyte was, he was so charming to say. You know what I mean?
He was like Megatron in Beast Wars, right? Like he was like, oh, this dude's an asshole, but like I kind of like watching him.
David K is iconic. Okay, without David K. It's David K, Gary Chalk for Optimus Primal, who
Ron Perlman is not Optimus Primal.
Who is not Optimus Primal. But that's what we got.
That's what we got. Movie's gonna be great, guys.
It might not be bad.
I think it'll be fun and stupid, like the first Transformers movie.
Yes, they are all stupid fun. That's the point. It's like you're not meant to take this seriously at all. Like honestly, they have Unicron in it. How bad are they gonna do Unicron? Like you have not prepared for Unicron. You have not braced us for Unicron. You're just saying, hey, guess what? Biggest bad guy.
Yeah, he's here by the way. So I'm curious if they'll awaken Cybertron to deal with Unicron, because why not at this point?
Most likely.
So that's a thing.
Shit like that.
I guess before we get into the full meat, the last thing I bought was this little ditty. So this showed up, guys. This fucking showed up.
It's here, guys.
It's fucking here, and it's way more complicated than I thought it was gonna fucking be. So this is the CSM. I'm just gonna put it on my head like this for a second. This is the CSM Futo PI edition of the CSM 1.5 double driver, and it actually comes with a maximum drive holder. And it has this cool little like clip in the back to make it look more like an actual rider belt. So it just like you can like, it's extendable. You can just fucking do it. And it has this little like cover for the buckle itself, and like this thing activates the fucking maximum drive, and like this is a whole gimmick thing, and like it fucking works. And yeah, it came with all 6 of Double's goddamn memory cores. Is that what they're called?
How much battery is that in? About half?
Well, I didn't want to waste all of them. So the nice thing about this is, as you can see, you press it, it just does the thing, and then hang on. So if you press and hold the button, it changes modes. Normally it's just this, right? It's the Henshin mode. And then you have, when you press it again and hold it, it goes into clips from the show mode. No? All right, you're going to be a dick now? All right.
Just making you a liar right now, straight up. There we go. Nope.
There you go. But that's Philip Seiyu. That's not Philip. That's Philip Seiyu from the show.
That's fine. It's still Philip.
It's so cool. And then they recycle through.
Does it have the lines that they're saying, or is it just whatever?
They're probably in the book. I honestly didn't even open the instruction manual. I was just like, it's over.
Give me.
So, Shotaro has his own. Oh, hang on. I gotta change modes.
I like that it makes that noise. See?
There you go.
Oh, wow.
And again, this is the Seiyu. This isn't Shotaro himself.
It's still
口先ばかりで空回りが多い俺だが検索頼めるか相棒
Oh.
だったらいつも通り半分力貸せよ相棒
I will.
There it is. Yeah, so it comes with all of them. So here's Heat Metal. They all have different lines, I'm pretty sure. All right. Yep. Oh, sorry.
お前今度はフィリップに何吹き込んだんだ思った通りやってみなよ俺がいや俺だこの町は俺の庭だ安心して待ってな
Am I going to get Axel? I have to after this. God damn it.
There's no option.
And then
That's
there's Luna Trigger as well. I mean, should I do the thing?
We have to do it. Well, have we ever discussed our favorite combos? I think we
No,
might.
I don't think we actually have.
Do your favorite combo before you do the tradition.
Hang on, let me change the mode. My favorite combo? All right.
Let me change the mode. I love it.
Yeah, let me choose the mode. Okay. So of the base ones.
Right.
Oh, let me see. It's a good question. I know, Gary. I know I have to buy them. They have to be reprinted first. So next year when they do the anniversary version 1.5, you bet your ass I'm gonna get it. I'm not getting Gary. I'm getting Blade. Yeah, I'm gonna get Axel. There's a lot of things happening the next few months that I have to save money for. That's the only reason why I didn't pull the trigger immediately.
I get it.
Yeah. Honestly, probably.
Yeah. Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Heat Joker.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
Joker Grenade is pretty dope.
That is dope.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
Fine. Damn, you bastard.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one, honestly.
Hold on, I don't know if I have mine.
Hang on, I'm trying to. There we go. God, what am I doing? There we go. No, there we go. That's what it is, right? Right? Which ones are Shotaro's? Joker,
Left.
Metal, and Trigger, right?
Left.
Left.
Yes.
Joker, Metal, and Trigger,
Left.
and then Cyclone, Luna, and Heat are Phillips, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Yes.
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 Yes. You know what else is a really underrated one? Oh, I did the wrong order, that's why. That's why it didn't work before.
Oh.
Luna Joker. He gets
Luna
the slaps.
Joker.
He does the slaps in the movie. It's pretty great. Heat Trigger does get the double maximum drive, which is pretty dope. So you can do that.
Yeah.
I was putting him in the wrong side. That's why it was weird. I'm used to looking at it. That's the problem.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then you can get the
Bang, bro. After Axel, yeah.
I absolutely want to buy Fang. I don't care so much about Extreme, honestly, but I need to buy Fang. Fang was my favorite form by far. So that's the double CSM, and this thing's fucking sick, and you need to get one too, so we can be stupid together like we always planned on being.
Absolutely. That's just what we do.
So when they re-release Fang, I'll get that. Because I'm not paying several $100s for one little thing like that. I mean, it's not little, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
It's worth it, though. Say. Hold on.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It's funny because we were playing with belts the other week.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good time, and the video's finally done.
Yes.
So
yes, it is.
Thank you. Let's see if I can cue it up here. I got it.
I have seen, was it Metal Fang? Is that the one with the scythe thing? And then there's Trigger Metal or Trigger Fang Trigger. Fang Trigger's fucking sick. I like Fang Trigger.
Sorry?
Yeah, Fang Trigger happens. Whatever one.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a bow.
Oh.
Yep, Fang Trigger and Fang Metal is the other one, I believe. I don't believe it's in the manga.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
someone gave him a scythe. I don't know if he actually has a scythe or not, but
Discord. Yeah. That is sick. Ooh.
Pretty cool. I'm not going to pull it up because that's a little spoilery, but it's in the corner there if you guys want to see it. Yeah. Do you guys want to see our little henshin video real quick?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So, let me pull it
up. So,
yeah,
we linked up with a guy, Jem from Pronghorn Heroes. He's doing projects like this pretty frequently, actually. So we actually kind of got in when he had some idea of what he wanted to do with us. Yeah.
This is, if you guys remember, this is not the first one I've done with him, but this was the first one you did, and that's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's been an honor. Thank you. I hope I do more.
Yeah.
I really do, because it was fun. It was too much fun. Like, legitimately just doing it again and now watching it and seeing how he put it together, I'm like, oh wow, okay, that was cool.
Yeah. So this is the henshin video we did, and I'm gonna play a character I bet y'all didn't expect me to fucking play. Let me tell you that for free.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
Henshin. Fuck yeah. Yeah, so I bet y'all didn't expect me to play fucking Sento, did you? I didn't expect to play him either, to be honest with you. But you know what? It worked really goddamn well. So,
yeah, it did, brother.
That was really fun, and there is more to come from that day. So make sure you guys stay tuned to his channel. That's Pronghorn Heroes, if you guys don't follow him, which I'm sure you all do at this point. But Pronghorn Heroes, you guys can check out Jem. He does all kinds of fun stuff. He's doing short films too. I helped him do Buffa and Geets originally. And yeah, we have, me and him were actually talking about what else you can do. And I told him this new toy is one of them. So
please.
Yep.
Because yes,
so
absolutely.
Stay tuned for me passing out while Rob henshins into double. Bye. Who wants to catch me?
I'll be like Akiko changing. I'm just gonna be so fucking hyped.
Yeah. Who wants to fucking catch me when I pass out?
You gotta do the whole little other side too, so he falls behind you.
Absolutely.
I love it, bro.
It was sick.
I'm excited.
Big shout out to Jem for putting that shit together. He's been doing great with those. Frankie Togu from Henshin Heroes, Henshin and Homies. I'm sorry. He did one a couple weeks ago. He did Niram, and he also did. No, I'm sorry. He did Niram by himself. He did the Revice ones. with them, and that turned out really. Oh, he did Towser. That's what it was. Towser.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Towser. When he was badass.
So that's pretty dope. Make sure you guys go check it out. It's Pronghorn Heroes over on the YouTubes where you guys are watching right now. Go check it out. But yeah, I told him, I was like, yo, I'm getting the CSM. Rob's gonna want to fucking do something with the CSM. So
ever since you said you were getting it, I'm like, okay, just let me know when. Just say when.
Go on. Yeah, it's been a running joke since he got into Kamen Rider that we would fucking do that, and you know, of if we're gonna be separate riders, because inevitably we'd probably just be double and argue the entire time.
Exactly.
But it's okay. I'm gonna get Fang either way, so I don't give a fuck. So
you're fine. You're fine, because as long as I get to do the finger, we're fine.
Yeah, you control that half anyway. You're fine. But we're basically going to be like that one thing where he's like...
Okay, hold on. I did it the other day. I got to try to find it. I was watching these clips, and I found that my favorite clip of Double.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about it frequently enough. The first time he meets Ankh. Do you remember that?
When the coin rolls across the floor?
When he meets Ankh, not AG.
Ankh, not AG. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you sent me this before. I don't remember, honestly.
I gotta try to find it.
Okay.
Again. I'm not sure if I'm going.
But yes, the beard was captured perfectly. It's hard to not capture it perfectly, to be honest. So it was also fresh trimmed.
Lighting.
Yeah.
We had prime light. It was dope, man.
It was pretty cool.
Rocking the day.
He's got some more, like I said, some more shorts coming from that day. Make sure you guys go follow him.
There. Look, guys, I was just perusing as I always do, and I find this always made me chuckle. Always, dude. This is my reaction. No.
なんだその腕みたいなの。こいつのことは気に
I miss these days.
おい、いや気になんだろおい。手だぞ。
That's what's up.
I miss it so much.
Yeah, that's sick. I like that it took a second for him to fucking do it too. He's like, yeah, no, yeah, that's totally cool. What?
Wait. Oh, there's no body.
Yeah, no, oh, that's a floating hand. Oh God, that's a floating hand. Hell yeah.
But no, that's Double love, man. That's the whole point. I've loved Double since the beginning, you bastard. You set me up.
Yeah, I had, ironically, I had not watched Double until a couple of years after you watched it. I was like, yeah, I saw the first couple episodes. It was fine. And then you would always go on and on about it. And I was like, I should probably just sit down and watch it. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I get it. Okay, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. Episode 40. Episode 41. 42.
Let me close it. Just let me close the belt. Just let me close the belt.
No, don't do it. No, Carl.
Just let me close the fucking belt.
No. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Gingerly place his hand on belt. I got it.
Can't. Every time. Every time.
Don't get in the robot, Gingy.
What?
But yeah, I'm absolutely gonna have to pick up the Futopia Axel one, because I am 90% sure it comes with Trial. And if you guys don't know, I fucking love Axel, and I love Trial even more, because no one else can rapid kick someone 1,000 goddamn times in 99 seconds. And the best will forever be when he uses the sword.
When he listen, it
Poor
was
Clayton.
that, but it's the quote too.
Yeah.
That shit. Your what?
Oh, it
Extinction
doesn't?
is
I
your
thought it
goal.
did. Damn.
It doesn't.
Doesn't. Fuck.
Oh.
Dang.
Brightness.
Hang on. I thought it did. Damn.
Oh.
No, just heat and electric, it looks like. Or Axel and electric.
No,
Damn. Actually, it's still, I mean, it's Axel. I'm still going to have to get it.
Yeah.
So, and then, yes, next year when Engine. I'm sorry, not electric. Engine. Thank you.
Engine.
Engine. He only puts it in the sword anyway. It's fine. I want to know the poor bastard he killed to get that thing.
I mean, yeah.
yeah. Like, who did he harvest to get the engine memory?
He found it like that.
He totally found it like that. Do you guys remember that like half second where they were like, but he could use Fang with Axel and probably control it better, and they were like, or they'll fucking explode in half, one of those two.
I would say, I mean, that's a dope combo though.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, Philip goes berserk, they need someone who can control him better than Shotaro, because Shotaro's kind of a pushover. And they were like, oh, what about Axel? It might have been Extreme too, I don't remember. But they showed like the split form with Axel and with Cyclone, and it was like, okay.
It's like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it looks like a goddamn Christmas tree. I genuinely don't remember which one it is, but it was like one little second when the masked lady was trying to explain like how dangerous it is to use this next form. I don't remember if it was Fang or Extreme.
Oh, that is not.
Is it Fang or Extreme?
It's Extreme.
It is Extreme. Okay. Yeah.
This one, yeah, it's Extreme. That's okay, but I kind of like the Christmas look, you know, like usually, but
I don't. Nope.
Red and green usually okay. But
I also just don't like Extreme, honestly. It's a very specific purpose, and once it's outside of those very specific purposes, I feel like this is kind of useless. Not kind of, but like a lot more useless than a lot of other final forms.
Doesn't make sense.
Because like if you're not fighting a Dopant or something with a memory, it's like, okay, we can still look stuff up quickly, I guess, but like we don't have the in-depth knowledge we have of the thing we're fighting like we do with the other things.
You know what?
There's a figure arts.
Another double looks somehow even more nightmarish. Look at this thing.
The another double.
Another double, yeah.
That was from the movie, I think, right?
Think so. That thing looks.
Yeah, it was from the because another Den-O was there too. We really like that design.
I think yes, that was
this was
one.
Yeah. This is the Heisei Generations Forever, whatever. And it was this one in Den-O, and then it ended up being like the two kids in the movie or something that like went back in time, something like that. I don't remember. The movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible. It was just not great. It was just not great.
Yeah, because here he is with another Den-O, and another Den-O is an amazing design.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's from the movie. Those two were in the movie. I just don't remember what their fucking point was because that movie's trash booty butt cheeks. So.
Whoa. Take a look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy.
This bad boy. Let me see this bad boy. Oh, this is another new Den-O.
Yeah, Cho.
But, yeah, wow. Cho Den-O, but another new Cho Den-O. A new Cho. This is another Cho Den-O. I don't understand why it turned into a Kiva bat though for his sword and not Teddy.
I saw the vibes, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. They pulled it off.
It's fine. It's cute.
Let's see. How many other ones? I'm curious here. You know what? Another. Right. I saw something interesting. Let me see if I could find that. Hold on.
I want to see. Is there another saber? There is, isn't there?
Yes, I think there is.
Yeah. Ooh, this is cool looking. Oh shit! This is actually really cool looking. This is actually really dope.
What is it? Can't see it.
There you go. It's actually sick as hell. I would totally be all about this if it just showed up. I mean, Zio's still terrible. I will not watch it.
But you know what?
But this is fucking cool.
They would fuck it up because the dragon head would be where he talks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he would like talk through the dragon head or something ridiculous like that. So,
that's
yes,
so sick.
But yeah, I will probably get Axel soon if it's available. If it's in the cards, I will. Because there's, like I said, a lot of things happening that I need money for. So, in the meantime, I'm accepting Futo PI CSM donations.
I don't know if you've seen these before, but I was looking up just, Soul Land because it's what I do now. Mm-hmm. And I saw this Godzilla Soul Land inspired art here.
I'm listening.
And it was Big G fighting Ghidorah. I think that's what it's supposed to be. And I went down this wild rabbit hole that took me to all of these Soul Land-esque cat. Like, look, here's King G again.
Very, yeah. Oh yes, 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 yes.
Hold on. And here's a big G. There's like a couple more, but these are the two that were like straight up Soul Land, straight up. But anyway.
Oh, this is like the two of them fighting. I see. Like it's the same one.
Yeah.
I've seen these before. They're like anime protagonist Donghua fucking Soul Land dudes. Yeah, no, these are sick. Yeah, I would watch the hell out of this. And it's not just because I'm obsessed with Soul Land, but I am. So I would still watch the hell out of this. But
Carl, I found your avatar.
Oh, you found it? It's not this giant Godzilla man?
Nope. I found when you go vagabond.
Yes. Oh, this is a DNF character. So it's fixed. It works nicely. Really? Yeah, it's a DNF class. It's Brawler, I believe. The male Brawler. Nice. Yeah. And there's also since we're on DNF, one final thing. When I inevitably, circumvent my disdain for religion, it's a whole thing I'm not getting into, but there's what I will ascend to when I find God, if you will. And it's this guy. Where is he? There he is. Because this is what will happen, essentially. Where's a better picture? Where is it? God, these pictures are huge. Why is it not loading? Good Lord.
Does anybody else have that problem? Like, you get sucked down the freaking rabbit?
Oh, all the time. All the time. Goddamn time. Okay. So here's one. Here's one, but this doesn't quite communicate the level that I would probably get to. This doesn't communicate the godliness of the holy hand that would be used. So there's that. There's this one. This is a little bit better. This is all. So the Crusader in DNF, the dude with the big hammer. This is all one of the other classes he can go into. There's this one that I also put for you. This guy here, and then where's the one that isn't loading? Ah, there it is. There's this one. This is my final I found God form, and it's just it's just.
Whoa.
You have a mallet hand.
Oh, let's say you have a hammer hand.
Yeah, I have a literal hammer hand. The hammer of God on my arm. So yeah, that's kind of the evolution of me if I find God. So yeah, DNF has a lot of really great fucking cool character designs. And I can't wait for them to finally add DLC characters after a year to DNF Duel.
There's still nothing like that.
There's still nothing. They haven't even shown a legit trailer for Spectre yet.
Mommy's not in it yet?
No, not yet. She's not in it yet. It's been over a year.
It sucks because that sucks. Holy crap.
It sucks. Because you know what happens when you don't support video games? They die. They fucking die and no one plays it. And that game has so much to offer and it's so much fun. It's a shame. But speaking of crazy, angry, punchy boys, that's a good segue, I think. Let's get into the meat of what we're talking about. So last week and in general, we've kind of been talking about the Tokudon project. We're still thinking of a name. There's some okay ones, some not great ones.
Tokudon the series.
Tokudon the series. Sure. Let's go with that. I've just been calling it the Tokudon project. Tokudon the series. Perfect. Whatever. It's a tentative name. That's all that matters.
Yep.
So I gave you guys that little preview last week. Or was it last week? It might have been 2 weeks now. I don't remember.
Yes.
Whenever we assembled last. Kind of like what we've been working on. And we kind of wanted to talk more about it because there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Yeah, so I joked about the Pepe Silvia boards, and what
I wasn't joking.
That wasn't joking. And so this program we talked about, Campfire, helped him make it so a normal fucking human can understand what's happening in his brain.
It's a blessing. It is a blessing for me. Like you have, obviously, you guys don't know, but Carl has known that my brain has always fired this way, and it was impossible for me to get that across to anybody. It was just impossible. Thus,
you just smile and nod.
I became the king of PowerPoints because PowerPoints were the only way I could separate these thoughts and present them individually so that it kind of made sense. Yeah. Because I would still have to explain it. So I still have to explain this. That's kind of the whole point
Yeah.
here. It's like, even though we're going to present this to you, what we've done is kind of lay a roadmap so that as we get to the actual story, everything will make sense and you will have the direction that we want to go in. Not so much that, how do I put it? I haven't written solid dialogue. I've written every scenario, every scene, every moment. But the dialogue is where I've been holding back the most up to this point, because the whole ambition here was to create this project in unison with everybody, with whoever wanted to be a part of it. And we've gotten it to this juncture so that finally, when we present it, we can finally bring people on board.
Yeah.
And here is where the fun really starts. So,
Not to interrupt you, but I just realized something really stupid.
yeah.
All of Shotaro's have a gold tip, and all of Philip's have a silver tip, and it goes into.
We can talk about tips later. We'll talk tips later.
Yeah, there's two different colored tips, and I was trying to figure out which one was which, and it literally matches up with the slot on the belt.
You want to do it again?
I'm not a smart man. Yeah, let me do. Hang on. Ask me what my favorite form is one more time.
What's your favorite form, brother?
Oh man, I don't know. Let me see. I think it's gonna be something like. Okay. Yep. This is the one. There you go. It still didn't play right, but that works. Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Good enough. Thanks. Thanks for indulging in that. Thanks for indulging in my stupid. Appreciate that.
Double. Anything Toku is allowed here.
Yeah,
anything
it's
Toku
fine.
is allowed.
It's fine. I literally, like, you're talking and I'm looking down and I'm like, wait.
And your brain just finally was like, click.
Yeah, because like I literally had them like laid out right next to me, and I was like, wait, these are gold. These are.
I was like,
wait a minute.
there was reasoning here. There is a secret.
Yeah,
here.
I'm not a smart man. You know?
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay, I'm not a smart man, and either is my character. I mean, he is, but like the whole point is he's a little bullheaded, if you will, to keep that reference going.
Yeah, he's a very set man.
Yeah, he's a single-minded individual. That doesn't mean he's dumb. He's just very driven in a single purpose.
Focused. He's too focused.
Yes, too focused.
You know what I mean?
I like that. Too focused. Yes.
There's a saying that I picked up, and I forget, and I know it came from fucking Magic the Gathering, but it says, "Stop watching the spider web." You know what I mean? He's watching the spider web instead of the spider.
Yes,
so,
the thing coming at him.
Yeah. So I've kept that shit forever because it makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
Hey, focus.
Yeah, pretty much. That was kind of where I was like, and we're drifting.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here. I'm in the conversation again, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. That revelation hit me. We're good now. We figured out the mystery of the CSM belt. The thing that everyone fucking knew, but I figured it out, okay? This is why I need Axel.
We're here together.
There's one slot on the fucking Axel belt. There's one slot.
We gotta get the whole thing, man. It's not right without the blade. It's not right without the blade. It's not right without trial.
I mean, they do have the Eternal knife up for pre-order right now.
I will make anything happen if that appears.
It's only $70. I'm just saying.
Only $70. That's all it is, man.
Only $70. 4 easy payments of $29.99.
Speaking of installments, that's kind of the whole thing as I was talking about here.
Yeah.
Dudes, we wanted to break this up because, like I said, we've been developing this shit for a year.
Yeah.
And it's taken the most solid form it has lately. But even this, I don't want to overwhelm people. I have everything. I should say that. I have everything from the freaking world building to the theology to the cultures to all of that nonsense because it's just how it works in here. So obviously I'm not going to compel anybody to go on that journey with me. But what I want you to know is that I've considered brick and mortar of this story.
Yeah.
And I'm very dedicated to making it happen. This is not something that's like, our usual shpicks where we're just like, let's just do something. This is something that, like Carl knows, I've been at this every day, every damn day. And I'm just excited. So if I get ahead of myself or if I double speak, listen again, because I definitely am going to do that So bear with me.
Yes.
And that's why I figured the best way to do it is the forum, because I will ramble. Carl, you have to ramble. So
I have to ramble?
no, you have to reel me in.
Reel you in. Okay. I mean, I can fucking ramble. That's what I'm fucking good at. I can do that shit.
So basically, where we always thought to start is just explaining the world itself, the island that this takes place on. If you have the
I have the campfire open.
Okay, so under locations, I have Boko there.
Word.
I have to read.
Boko Island. There we go. Boop.
Okay, so
Pull this up for you guys to see. There you go. Also, we should mention that all of this is kind of like vibe art and music and things. Like eventually we would like to get actual art. Yeah, this is all like, we just wanted to get the idea of things across, and like what was kind of in our head. It had nothing to do with what's actually there.
yes, we are filthy pirates. So
yeah,
I'm just borrowing all of this. So big disclaimer.
Uncredited, sorry.
Uncredited.
Placeholder images.
Exactly. All the disclaimers. Just slap it on there. It's for educational purposes.
Yeah,
there you go.
Educational purposes. That's it. There you go.
All right. So, Boko Islands, where it all happens. Boko is an island in the center of a large ocean. It is a place of magical energy that flows constantly, making the life forms within more attuned with one another. Think of like Final Fantasy type of world. Everything kind of synergizes. There are, of course, many dangers as well. Magic is unpredictable in the end. It has many ranges of climates, so it's a big island, kind of like in Australia.
It's like a Pangea kind of thing.
Yeah. So the humans who live on here, they're simple people, so they're not really much more out of like the farming ages. You know what I mean? No, we're not quite more than nomads. We're still simple villages. It's kind of the vibe of this entire island. So, like technology beyond, technology beyond like, I don't know, simple machines. Keep that in your head.
Yeah.
Although separated by terrain and distance, they all share the same culture. They revolve around a faith in what they believe are gods, and they build temples. And like all of these temples are built around these well springs, which are the focal points of all the magic. So the magic that sources through all of Boko seems to come from these mana points all over the island, so to speak. So that's really it. So keep that in your head for where the overall story happens.
Think like for me, and correct me if this isn't the vibe you always had, but like Boko was kind of like a little bit before Avatar. Like we're talking like that kind of time period.
Kyoshi,
yeah, like Kyoshi era. Not quite like Aang, but a little bit before that.
Yeah. So it's like again, everything is made of the world. Like you don't have any refined metals yet. You have weapons, but you don't have like machinery.
We're not talking like stainless steel and all that kind of shit.
Right.
There's not really like, it's just before the industrial age. Let's put it that way, because you think like Korra is kind of like the industrial era. We're talking a little bit before that. So
yeah. So you have the world in mind. So this entire place. Now, let's go to I think it's Encyclopedia.
Yep.
Okay, Encyclopedia, and Encyclopedia we have gods. So the gods. Now they're not really gods, okay? What they are is because of these mana points that spring up all the energy. And like I said, how things synthesize and synergize. What happens is over time, when a lot of it collects, life energy and nature energy combine, and they create this avatar of a element plus animal, life form plus thing. In many instances, it's just like a warped version of a regular animal. But depending on the power and how much becomes a part of it, it can become crazy looking. For example, we have two that I'll speak so right off the bat. Kaito, which is one we'll mention later on, is a very powerful version of this concept.
Yep.
And his counterpart, Malam, is the same kind of entity, but not as powerful. Okay? So it's kind of that dichotomy where you'll still, you and I could be gods, so to speak, these entities.
Duh.
But I have more in touch than you,
Yeah.
so to speak. So although very rare, they are the embodiment of life force and natural elements. They are immensely powerful. Now there are lesser gods who exist, lesser gods who exist for a long, long time, who through all this mana energy, all this life force energy, can evolve and become into these gods. So there's examples of both. Some that are just created, some that become it. And that's kind of the whole dynamic that they
People
live
can
with.
become them too, just so you guys know.
Yes, and that's the next thing. So you have an example of those guys. Now these temples and these things that they build for these gods, they're meant to channel their power and draw them in and help them, because what happens is these gods eventually take on these roles as kind of like shepherds for people. They want them to succeed, but they don't interfere too much. So think of them like our overseers who care a little bit
Just
less
a little bit.
than they
Just very, very
Yeah.
little bit.
just a little bit. They care, but not enough to actually do anything.
Yep.
So now you guys have that, and you have the cultures, and you have the aspects.
Yep.
These temples built over the well springs, that this whole world just flush with magic. Now, because of that, things happen all the time. Creatures are born that are crazy. Some magic is just bonkers. Gods have to step in sometimes. People step up. Back and forth kind of lifestyle. That's when we start. Now, timeline. Okay. So, the first important moment in our story is not so much the birth of Ray, but it is what happens to him in his life. Ray is we'll call him one of the exceptions of humanity. Ray was born with incredible physical power, even as a child. But it was offset by this irrational fear of shadows. He was deathly afraid of shadows. What happened to him is because of this immense strength and this irrational fear, he was abandoned as a kid. Think of what happened to Tarzan if it was on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose. So
There
Tarzan,
was no jaguar. He's just on purpose.
So Ray struggles and etches a way of living, learns to conquer his fear through the struggle to survive. At the nighttime, there are no shadows. Everything is dark. He feels at ease when nothing is creeping around him. When he is totally in the dark, there are no shadows. So he wants to create this form that he wants for him to be perceived as. This weakness that he always has, he hates it. So he goes really hard into trying to conquer that. And one day, he encounters a lesser god. And what happens when a god falls? They're made of energy. They're made of life force. When they die, all that distributes back into Boko. Now, there's a moment there. Like I said, everything synergizes. There's a moment where you can tap into that and you can harness it. You can find a way to join your energy with that. 2 degrees, depending on what you can tolerate, depending on what's out there. So it's variable. Just because you were able to kill a lesser god doesn't mean you can equate its strength. You might be able to tap into it. Ray conquered it. Ray absorbed this lesser god's power and honed it so masterfully because of his dedication to commit to conquering his fear, that it manifested into this projection of this king of beasts, this master of his fear. And that power that came from the lesser god took a form. The forms that these powers take, we call God graces. God graces is just the word that we use that is representative of the object that is created out of the fusion of magic between a god soul and a human. It takes the form of whatever that human needs at that moment. whatever they want.
Yep.
That's what they'll get. Ray took his fear, took his dedication, took his rage, and he created a crown. I call it the Ma crown, but that's just because I'm an idiot for names. The crown that he creates is meant to harness his fear, but there's trade-offs. One of my favorite things in all of magic and powers is the trade-off. You always give to get. Alchemy, baby. So this trade-off that he does is meant to compensate for his pushing away of his fear. It leaches out into everything around him.
Mm-hmm.
Our world, Boko, because it has flush of energy, there's realms that lie beneath. There's things in between that just don't quite make sense but are there because they have to be. This crown leaches out into those betweens, and it infects the dreams of people, of its victims. These dreams become warped because what he's after is more fear. The more fear he can rid and grab, the more he can conquer it, and the more he can use it against people to put him as their fear. I hold your fear. This is Ray's idea. Now this function of the Macron has this side effect or effect. I don't know. What would you call them? The macro.
I mean, the kaijin of our story, but
Yeah.
I guess the embodiments of the tendrils, I guess, the little like seedlings, that these roots that are spreading all over the island and into people's psyches and all this kind of stuff. These are kind of the little like saplings that fall off from these tendrils. I guess is the best way to kind of surmise it.
Yeah, that's fair. They're the representation of your nightmares. The reason you had nightmares on Boko Island is because you are temporarily being possessed by a macro. Now, to the extent, depends on the power and strength of your connection into the dreams, so to speak. Your level of nightmare powers, Ray.
My ass is gonna have a fucking 30-foot snake pop out of my chest and murder me instantly. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
This whole thing stemmed from the idea of an SCP that I had. So I kind of took that concept and warped it. These creatures take on the form of your fear and haunt you.
Yeah.
So
sounds great. I love it. I love snakes, guys. Literally a week ago, I jumped higher than I ever did in any horror movie by watching a fucking snake lunge out of the water. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
They can do that?
Yeah, they can fucking do that. It was a green anaconda that was nearly 20 feet long and almost took this cameraman's fucking face off. And like oh my god, you're gonna fucking, I'm sweating already. So in this video, this is very distracting. It has nothing to do with this, but this is my fear, so it has to go with it. In this video, he's like walking through the woods in like the Amazon, where the fuck this thing lives. And I'm not going there. That's all I know. And you see in this murky, muddy water, you see this thing's fucking head. And it's just below the surface, so it's all like stretched out and warped. And I was like, I fucking see it. I fucking see it. I fucking see it. And then like, it was one of those like bizarre, weird, whatever kind of videos kind of thing.
Right.
Compilation type shows, like crazy animal videos, whatever. On Discovery Channel, one of those kind of things.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, they're the best and the worst. It's terrible. So I see this thing there and I'm like, oh my god, I know it's gonna leap out. Oh my god, I know it's gonna leap out. And this thing, lo and behold, fucking leaps out of the water, and I go, oh my god, no! I had to dive out of the way. It was coming for me. It was coming straight at me. My TV is a solid 10 feet away from the couch, but it was coming right at me. Okay, guys, this is a very real fear of mine. Like, I do not go in the reptile house. If I do, I'm scraping the other side of the wall going by the snakes. It's a very real fear, okay?
The man who loves dinosaurs.
From the man who loves... I will fucking pet a dinosaur. I will kiss a dinosaur on the face. The second it gets rid of its arms and legs, we're done. We are done.
We're done here. Goodbye.
Yes. You are now Satan incarnate. Get out of my face. God damn it.
It's fine. It's fine. I understand.
Yes.
I mean, I see spiders. I can handle the spider in my sight. When the spider I know is there is not there anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
When you look back, you're like, oh yeah, no, I'll be there. And you look back and it's gone. You go, what the fuck?
The only thing that's playing in my head is that it's taping blades to all 8 of its hands, and it's coming back.
It's doing that fucking like blood sport shit where it's like dipping him in glass.
It's tongue po. The spider of my nightmares is fucking tongue po. Listen, that man is horrifying, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, no. And it's just that buff, too. He's just like... all 8 of its fucking feet.
You know, I have been craving an 80s action movies binge lately, bro. That's just something, like, Jean-Claude Van Damme has been, like, right here in my mental.
Anyway. We watched The Last Dragon, too. I've been wanting to watch that again. Show enough.
I mean...
I am the master.
The glow, man.
The glow.
It was
got the
such
glow.
a dope idea. It's Ultra Instinct, you know that, right?
It's literally just Ultra Instinct. If you guys have not seen The Last Dragon, you should go watch The Last Dragon. Apparently there's a sequel. I didn't know that. There's a sequel, apparently. So, yeah.
Okay, I have questions.
Yeah, I do too.
The Last Dragon.
It has everything to do with what we're talking about. This is totally not a rant.
It's technically Toku. So
Technically Toku.
That is
Revenge
not
of Magic. I don't think that's right.
That is not it. The Last Dragon sequel. There it is. There it is. No.
Rise of the Last Dragon?
That's what it says. Leroy Dwight.
The Glow.
This is not a joke. But then again, this was back in 2019. So
Yeah,
it wasn't a joke.
This is 2012, so I don't think this is real. But anyway, back on the topic at hand.
So yeah, imagine the wackadoous fears that you have. But imagine a silhouetted, shadowy, globby, inky version of it that's chasing you nonstop in your dreams.
Nope, it's great.
Okay.
I love the movie It Follows. It's fantastic.
So this goes on for a long time, and Rei is becoming more and more powerful. He's just absorbing the strength of all these dream manifestations. These Makuro just increase to go across Boko. And bit of a problem. Starting to take notice between the lesser gods and the gods themselves. Rei gets challenged by 2 lesser gods. The first time, it was just him and his fisticuffs, and he came out. This time, Rei has had a couple years to power up, and now 2 of them are coming after him.
Yeah.
So after Rei pushes their faces into the grounds and absorbs their power, he creates 2 generals out of their essences, 2 sources of god graces that he creates into Makuro. These 2 Makuro are like, how do I put them? Well, in terms of characters to reference, Android 16 and Android 18.
Yeah.
Android 16 is Pain. Pain is a very simple, very, very focused warrior. He's
pull up
his
thing, his character page here.
Yes, Pain.
Yeah, that's him. He's scary. The Beast Makuro.
Yes, he's the Beast Makuro. So, tying back to this whole SCP thing, the SCP, the way his name is spelled is in homage to an SCP that's the unkillable lizard, the unkillable reptile. The way it's spelled is like that, but I'm pronouncing it Pain because saying Panu is just too much. So, anyway, Pain is like he's very simple-minded, but he's an honor-bound creature. There's a side of him that is just like constantly driving for battle, constantly wanting to punch somebody in the face. But the problem is, he has to follow orders. He's under control. And because of that,
can't play that one. Okay. I was trying to put on the mute music while you were talking about him.
Oh.
Can't play the first one.
Sorry. Not that one either, probably.
But we're going for it.
I go crazy, guys, because the mood music is something that I've listened to when creating this character, when thinking of like the basis of who he is. I do everything shy of what they look like and what they sound like. Honestly, it's really just direction that I try to.
We're going for vibes here.
I give you who they are. I give you what you need to know. But the idea here is this is where I was when I was thinking of this. So you know. So encountering Iisuka, Pain's whole thing is the fight. And Gon, Carl's character is
Gaan. Please pronounce it correctly.
Gaan.
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 Gaan. Gaan.
Gaan is basically his form.
Gaan.
Where they fight and they want more fight. So, he and Panu have this on again, off again kind of rivalry. And Pain, excuse me. Gaan and Pain are one. The other general, like I said, is Android 18. Makine.
Literally.
Literally. Makine is one of my nightmares. She started off as this spider thing, but what really creeps me out is AI just in general. So She is literally the embodiment of a nightmare of a machine future, of the Matrix, of all of that. And she views herself as above everything because of her refinement. She is
the superior being.
Yes, she was made of the essence to be the essence of her creator in her mind. So she is constantly improving herself, constantly refining her frame so that she is the most state of the art. So she leaves a lot of spare parts. And this is just,
where does she get those spare parts?
So the metals where she's pulling this from is the unfortunate souls that have challenged her, and she has
it's a fucking Dark Souls boss, and you know it.
She has many times the amount of metals that she needs, and that's kind of the point. Is her avarice is her hubris, so to speak. So given that, she's no dummy. She's very smart, very intelligent. She's not as eager to get into a fight, but she will circumvent the fight by probably dropping a roof on your head. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So those are his generals. He creates these using the god graces given to him when he destroyed the lesser gods that challenged him.
Do you want me to not show the final forms?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. I'll show you guys.
The whole thing is like they Yep.
I'm on Makine, so just to continue with Makine.
there is like I said, I've come the entirety of the story. So at one point they get upgrades. Everybody gets an upgrade.
Everybody. And of course, you got to raise the stakes.
It was really fun coming up with hers because I thought, what more could it be than a Final Fantasy villain?
Yep.
Like, what scares
Essentially,
me?
yeah.
Like, do you guys? I don't know. My first Final Fantasy was 6. So that last fight was insane. When the angel form, you know what I mean? That angel form scares me. So it's like, I need that. So you have Makine's angelic grand delusion form. I don't know if you showed Pain's, but Pain's is,
I think I scrolled over, but I'll pull it back up.
That's fine. It's just they're two. These are the two power-up forms that they get once a goal is achieved. Okay.
Nemesis.
But that's later on. Yes. Okay. So we have now. Think of Rei as now basically assembling his Ginyu force. Rei is still unbelievably powerful, but he's not what he wants to be yet. Rei's delusion is that he can always go beyond. There's always something more.
And this is to go even further beyond.
Yes. And then I scream for the next 5 minutes.
5. It has to be at least 15. Come on now.
It's true. Rei eventually becomes enough of a problem that a god itself is finally like, yes, I'm up, right? Oh, brother. Rei discovers something deep within himself that he didn't know he had, which is the ability to kill a god. So the reason Rei has this incredible amount of strength, physical strength, and then powered by his magical strength, is this connection to Boko. This wellspring flows through him, making him an exceptional being. And the only person who unfortunately realized that just a little too late.
As he put his hand through his fucking chest.
This god falls. And I have a whole chapter called Godfall.
Yep.
This is Ray's apocalyptic battle with this god who directly challenged him. Now, when I say god, obviously you guys know I mean these uber powerful entities. But to put that into context, the way I've always pictured this is if you, and I don't know how many people like magic, but if you've seen the Eldrazi, if you've seen Emrakul, or if you've seen Kozilek or Ulamog, any of these titans, it's basically like taking on one of those by yourself.
Let me pull them up so people have a reference, because I don't know what you're talking about either. I mean, I do, kind of, but...
Okay. Well, let me see. Do I have another reference?
Let me see. The Aeon's Torn. Sky Spawner. Yeah, these cosmic entities, if you will.
Yes.
Infinite Ulamog. There you go. There's Ulamog.
Yes.
Displacer.
A collection of life energy amassed into this
Kozilek.
entity. And this is what challenges Ray. And Ray is like, cool, let's party. And he wins.
Let's do it.
But it's been something that's never happened before. Gods who have never been killed. Some gods cease to exist and they just redissipate into Boko. What happens here is unfound. It's never happened before. But what Ray does is absorb it. He's like, this is
mine
what I've
now.
been after.
This is mine now.
This is it. Yes. And the level of power that he's infused with is ungodly, unscalable, unimaginable. So much so that it destroys his physical form. He no longer exists in the physical realm. And that's a bit of a problem. All that's left of him is the Mach crown. That crown that he created all that time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's his connection to the world. It's his connection to Boko still. As long as the Mach crown exists, he still has a foothold in the world. So the macro continued to spread. Nothing changed. What made it worse was that Ray became the equivalent of one of those entities, and now his macro are even more powerful. So the macro spread even more throughout Boko, to where there's nowhere safe anymore, except the gods step in one more time. There's a subsection that I created that will become a story plot later on. So, the first of all primal riders is created. The gods decide to help the humans directly by helping them join their powers for god grace, like we talked about. But these god graces are a little different. They're not just trinkets. These god graces are gimmicks.
Yeah.
These are the gimmicks that will be the basis for primal riders. A primal rider was chosen by a god for XYZ reasons. They vary because the gods vary, so do their champions. So it's not like because I tied my shoe really well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the first chosen is a guy named Haravak. Now, the only reason I'm bringing him up very briefly is so you get the idea of what we're doing here. Because they experimented and they needed to figure this out, they took this first guy and said, how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do we join our powers with a human? So they gave it a shot, and they created this Superman of a
I was going to say Ubermensch.
yeah, Superman of Ubermensch people. So Haravak is so immensely powerful that he can't exist on our plane either. So they borrow him and use him like a puppet. Every now and then a god has to take a swing to channel their power through him, because if they all did it at once, there'd be no more Boko.
So someone go pop.
Yes. So put him on the shelf because this is just a character to establish where this idea generated from.
Yeah.
So they refined it. They figured out how the best way to do it. And the best way to do it is called God Graces, which is sections of the entity's soul life force that will fuse with a human in order for them to become a primal rider.
Yeah.
There is a section of our plot here that I've called the Tantibus War. The Tantibus War, it lasts for long ass time. This war,
roughly 100 years.
1,000 years, 1,000 plus.
Oh, yes, I didn't see how the 2 changed. My fault.
Yeah, 1,000 plus.
My fault.
Now, the reason
Reading's hard.
I have it this way is that there's this time span. One encompasses the changing of time overall. So the old world becomes the new. But in between, you have the infinite possibilities for plot lines and stories that we wanted to tell.
I also like how you used the Ultraman. I just realized it was the Ultraman samurai crossover for the picture.
So, like, the whole idea for Primal Riders, which you should know now, is that they're not your common rider.
No.
They're not your armored rider. This is...
They're more, honestly, like... So, the whole Primal Rider thing kind of spawned from my character specifically, and it kind of developed more into almost like a Garo Makai Knight more than an actual rider. Is a better way to think about it, honestly.
That's exactly right. It's the idea that they're refining this idea, but there's such a natural element to these forms that it's just inevitable. They're not quite a common rider.
Yeah.
They're more Amazon, so to speak.
Yeah.
That kind of works. Anyway, so 1,000 plus years of a war where these entities are constantly choosing champions. Some champions rise, fall, traitors, have a ball, because these are literally plot lines where we're like, we have all these
Spin-offs, got it.
Spin-offs. Marketing. Legitimately, it's have fun. So that happens. But it all builds up to a certain stalemate, because inevitably nothing can be done if they can't quite achieve their goal, which is the Macron. The Macro are still a thing as long as that crown is still making them. So, inevitably, the battle gets taken to Tantibus itself. Tantibus. Under locations, there's Tantibus there. The very god that challenged Rei had its temple conquered by the generals after the fact. So Rei was a little petty for losing his body, and he decided to kind of purge that frustration, and he conquered the temple and took it over, and he made it his home base.
A little petty, it's fine.
It's a little petty, but he made that his home base. So eventually, the battle for the Primal Riders eventually leads them to that front door, which brings us to victory at all costs. So Tantibus, which is like the last stronghold, the Primal Riders finally capture. They defeat the generals. They defeat most of the generals. Pain and Machine, ex Grame, they get out where they get good.
I should also interject a little bit that this isn't like they're pushing the army of Makaro back. This is, we're gonna try and cut the head off the snake and hope for the best here. This is not like one last push and we get victory. This is, oh god, we have no other choice. We need to do this.
Yeah. And the problem is, the Makaro aren't truly defeated. There's still Makaro around. They've managed to seal the Makron, but they can't crush it. They can't destroy it. They can't do anything with it, because there's only one way to do that, and that's to put the fucker on. And if you do, Rei's got you by the balls.
Yeah.
So, the best thing they can do is seal it away. Yes. So, they seal it away, and they're like, we're just gonna forget that this is here, okay? We're gonna deal with the Makaro.
Nobody fucking talk about it. Shh.
We got all these magics that are gonna protect the Makron, right? There's no threat of the Makaro that's gonna come out. Bullshit. So, inevitably, the Makaro come back, but they're not as powerful yet. So, what happens after a little bit of peace? It's a little bit of a break, and then suddenly the shit hits the fan again. What happens? Everybody spazzes, everybody freaks out. The order that's created to kind of hold these things together, they're the ones who inevitably become, down the road, a future important thing. But they're called the Order of Goss now. Okay? But these happenings are happening again. Why? What's going on? Brings us to the return. So, once a village is taken, and we have in that village a very particular victim, His name is Judah. Judah is a very ambitious person. He always wanted to be somebody powerful, somebody strong. But like Ray, he was really weak. He's very timid. He doesn't have what it takes to do it. Something that, we could understand. So, suddenly...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Suddenly, during the knockout times...
Now I'm just being a dick.
I want to be a champion too one day, man. Anyway, so Judah has this preoccupation with wanting to be better, wanting to be somebody, but he watches as his sister and his friend are chosen by gods to become powerful, to become that what he wanted to be.
Yes.
And
jealous motherfucker.
So Judah's sister, Lucia. Let's go to...
I'm gonna get up Lucia's page here.
Yep.
Hang on. There it is.
All right. Lucia is I'm trying to bring her up on mine. There we go. All right, sorry. So let's talk about Lucia. Lucia is the inspiration for my idea for a Sentai themed character who has a very a deep connection to the world itself. She's gonna be sort of an exposition dump, but I'm not just gonna expo dump. I have this kind of weird idea, and Carl and I, we kind of came up with this power that she has. I want you to explain the trials, because
yes,
trials are kind of the important thing here. So when I say someone is chosen, they're chosen by a god because of something in them that the god can attach to and attune with. Yes. But they still have to prove themselves.
Yes. So I'm going to just talk about Izuka Gaan specifically because it's the most fleshed out of these trials so far. Yeah. And so, while Rob's been writing, the story, I kind of just thought he was like, yo, go splash around in this sandbox over here. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go splash around in this sandbox over here. So
I'm going to think, go have fun.
Yeah. Here's the shiny thing. Go run around with it. It's probably sharp. Good luck. So I've been kind of working on the ancient Boko stuff, the stuff that really isn't in the main chunk of this season. That's just kind of flavor text. And it's not necessarily, it's important, but it's not necessarily prevalent, I guess is the best way to describe it.
We're gonna touch on it because it's all when the story takes place now. It's based on what happened.
Yeah, it adds depth to what's going on, right? When specifically Gaan, he is this ancient warrior who has been in more battles than he can think of. He just doesn't even remember how many's in at this point. He is a hardened warrior, but at the same time, he's kind of, he's not, like I was saying earlier, he's not dumb. He's just very singular minded and very bullheaded.
Very focused.
Yes, very focused. But the inspiration for his personality came up from Spartans, where they were very strong believers in you need to train your mind as well as your body, that kind of thing. So he's a very smart dude. He's very creative. He has a hobbies. I actually didn't even mention this to you. So your live reaction, here you go. I was kind of thinking it'd be cool if he could do something like whittling, just something with his hands. Something like that, just to show that he's not just unga bunga, let's go. Because I feel like that's kind of how he comes across in this first chunk. Because the second chunk we explore more of that shit, but I thought it would be cool to have something a little like that. But essentially, what it comes down to is, like we were mentioning, there's these temples scattered all across Boko Island, and again, Boko's huge, so he's been all up and down. There is 7 primary villages that have essentially a martial art that they have learned. It's a different skill each of these villages that have mastered, and you go around, and it is common for warriors on Boko Island to go around and learn or attempt to learn the other forms of martial arts of the other tribes. And we ended up calling his Warblood just because we call it Warblood. Yeah, it's cool. Little on the nose, but it's cool. It's a little on the nose, but it's dope. I'm cool with it.
Don't even. I get it. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's on the nose, but it's dope. That one's pretty cool. We'll work on the other ones. I don't even think we have any other ones right now. But either way, every time they learned a new skill, they would gain a new rank, which is called an Arm of the Asura. So they would get arm of the Sura, I should say, not necessarily Asura. Like second arm Sura, third arm Sura, that kind of thing. Iska is the first one to, I think we ended on 7. Is that what it was? 7, yeah. So he is the first 7-armed Sura, and 8 will become significant later. So it's not just like he has a weird number of arms in his title. 8 will become significant later. That's maybe probably not today. But essentially, once he masters all 7 of these, he goes on a journey to kind of connect with one of these gods, and this god is Kaito. And the way he finds this temple is in Storm Valley, I'm going to call it, because again, we don't have solid names for it. But it's a valley that has such strong gusts of wind that people literally die trying to get to this temple. And
ripped apart, ripped to shreds.
Ripped to shreds. And we're talking like people get far, there's bodies littered across this valley kind of thing of different skeletons and, you know, caravans and stuff like that. People trying to get to this temple. Gon is the first one to actually get to the temple, and he learns that this is one of these well springs as well as one of the god temples. And he meets Kaito, who is kind of a mentor, kind of the closest thing he's going to have to a father figure, and very kind of almost what Gon aspires to be. It's kind of like the best version of himself. And you guys can see over here, it's this cool little, he has a god form, and then he has a human form, which is very not standard armor, but very indescript armor. It's kind of just armor. There's a faceplate. You don't really see their face too much, because I really wanted Kaito to be strictly about the idea of what it meant to be a warrior and what that entailed, and like fighting and battle and things like that don't really care about gender, so he would be almost gender fluid at times. Have more feminine body and voice and things like that. Sometimes they would be male. It wasn't important, was my point. So I didn't really care, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting actually if they just kind of like are in flux all the time, like the wind. There you go. Yeah. Because they are the god of storms. And so Kaito takes on or offers to give Gon these trials. And these trials are essentially to become the replacement god of this wellspring. This is essentially how a new god is created. This is how their power is passed on. This is how they're able to keep creating primal riders, and eventually, you know, new gods are formed, things like that. So Kaito gives Gon these trials, and Gon decides to start them. The first one, I've only fleshed out 2 of them. There's 4 trials altogether. Essentially, it's how they build their primal rider powers.
Form.
The first one, the first one is how they get their how Gon specifically, as you guys can see from my picture, you've seen it all over my channel. The trident that he uses, it's the fangs of Kaito, and they basically, being a warrior god, Kaito says, "Yo, go to this cool island." And good luck. Bye. So it's called the Trial of the Heart. And I'm sorry. The Trial of the Heart was him getting to the fucking temple because it had to do with the valley. The Trial of the Forlorn, that's the one I was thinking of. He goes to the island, and this is how he gets the armor itself. Basically, he has to go into this lawless prison island, essentially. And survive. It's called the Godless Colosseum, and he has to conquer the Colosseum, and he becomes the champion and becomes the #1 ranked in this ruleless, essentially, battle that he has to do. And so doing that, he returns to Kaito. It takes him 3 years to do it. He gains the armor. And then he's going to do a third trial, which is to test something else. The idea was kind of test mind, body, and spirit was kind of the whole idea. And so there's a third that kind of gives him we ended up thinking it was like this crest on his head, the crown, almost like, the Macron, almost.
Gotta keep the thing going.
Yeah, but it's essentially how he gets that, and that once he completes that trial, he is bestowed the powers of the storms, essentially, to not quite the extent Kaito can do. We're talking like Kaito. So when I described Kaito's form, like the hair is the clouds. When it cracks its body, when it's going through the air, that's the thunder, that kind of thing. It's very much like it has a god form, which is the kind of sky dragon thing. And then it also has the humanoid form we talked about. But his title's also the Storm Serpent. I think that's fucking radical. That's just me, though. So essentially, Gaan becomes Primal Rider Iisuka through these trials. And each Primal Rider has to complete 4 trials to eventually become the new god. Not to necessarily become a Primal Rider. They're pretty much a Primal Rider once they accept these trials, because they are essentially their chosen champion. But to become a god themselves, they have to complete all 4 trials. Yeah,
which ain't easy.
Which ain't fucking easy. So it takes interesting individuals like our main characters to do so, and not every god's trials are the same. Like Malam, Lucia's god, is not going to put Lucia through the godless Colosseum because that's not her shtick. You know what I mean?
No.
And part of it as well is kind of in this. It was really fun creating some of the history for these gods, and I really only did Malam and Kaito. Essentially, they were humans that just kind of like hung around the wellspring so long that they became gods. But they, Kaito was a warrior, much like Gaan, Iisuka. Malam was the motherly figure that could never have her own children, and I thought that was tragically beautiful. And so she became this caretaker to all. And the whole thing is that she like unofficially adopts everyone and wants to care for them. Kaito has gained fame and power and riches through battle, but then he would constantly lose it. And then the more he did this, the more he learned about how much none of it fucking matters. And that's kind of his thing too, where he just becomes numb to the world to where he only becomes a fighter. And, that opens his eyes to things at all different levels. And that's kind of the theme, I guess, every god has when they ascend like that, the ones that start as humans anyway. They usually have like one certain aspect that they would grow and cultivate over years and years and years near these well springs, because again, it's magic, you can kind of do whatever. But those are really the only 2 that we did like backstories for so far. I'll work on the other ones eventually, but essentially what it is these gods give them trials individually tailored towards not only that god but that person as well, and if they pass them, they become gods themselves. Gaan has passed 3 of them, so he is basically a super uber badass Primal Rider, but he is not a god. So
right, and that's kind of where the crux of our story begins with them, because to become a Primal Rider, all you got to do is survive the first trial, and you got the first God Grace. Yep. Now, like I said, God Graces are the fusion of a portion of a soul and the life energy of a god.
Yep.
Now, the gods who give portions of themselves diminish. So the idea of becoming a god is to replace the one before. So what happens is they're gone. And that's kind of something that's unspoken in this Primal Rider culture.
Yep.
Not everybody can become a Primal Rider because not everybody has what it takes. And because of that, not everybody is privy to the reality.
Yep.
And the reality is when a god chooses a rider and the rider becomes powerful enough, they become a new god by replacing the old one.
Yep.
This is kind of a problem for Lucia.
Yep.
Lucia grew up with Malam. Lucia feels this connection to Malam that has probably never been a thing for most of the other gods. Kaito's is close because of the warrior bond, but not quite. That's my mom.
Yeah. It was. It's never like Lucia and Malam have the time factor too, right? Like Kaito and Gaan have known each other for a few years. I would say a solid decade or so at least. By the time this all pops off, because like I said, he spends 3 years on the Godless Colosseum, things like that. And Gaan really does look to Kaito for not only inspiration but also like just kind of advice. So it's almost like a big brother, fatherly mentor figure. Mentor, I shouldn't say fatherly because we're using the word motherly for Malam, but this is more of a mentor figure.
Yeah, it's just the time, right? The amount of time that they spend together is longer. Now, this being the case, Judah, who is Lucia's brother, is well aware of this. So when Lucia was chosen, it broke his heart, because what he understood was there was going to be something that was going to happen, that he was going to lose one of the two.
Yeah.
So it drove him to a point of psychosis. Now, Lucia, for her own part, she understands the consequences that might come in terms of what her own sacrifice might be. But then she goes and completes 3 trials.
Yeah.
And understands finally what the 4th trial means. And it's something that has never been talked about. It's something that you kind of understand, but because the gods have always been so hands-off, you don't really know.
Yeah.
And then when Lucia finds out that Malam will probably end up gone to give her the power, in terms of who Lucia is as a person, she can't do it. She can't bring herself to destroy something she loves, to attain something that isn't that important.
Yeah.
She can find a way around it. There is,
Yep.
She believes that there is another way. There has to be another way, because there always is. It might not be easy, it might not be great, but there's another way. So that's Lucia's mentality now. She cannot accept whatever's going to come. And the only person that she knows well enough to try to bring this to is Gon.
Yep.
And Gon finds out about this reality. And you'll take it. You can take.
Yeah.
Gon.
My man's not about that shit. My man is like, full stop. Pause. No.
What?
Yeah. He literally goes, huh? Like he's unga bungaing through these trials, and then he goes, wait. Unga?
What?
So yeah, like again, because he has grown to love Kaito as a mentor, as a person he enjoys spending time with, which is not something this meathead fucking does a lot, you know? Like there's very few people in his life that he has a very deep connection with. And you know, Lucia and Judah are 2 of those people, but Kaito is probably the one he's had the deepest connection with, and it's something that he's bonded with. And again, he almost aspires to be like him, but not at the cost of removing him from existence. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's an interesting dynamic, and Iska Gon literally full stops to the trials and refuses to do the 4th trial. Straight up refuses.
So this causes obviously a problem, because now the Makro are still roaming free, and without Primal Riders, the generals are like, it's fucking party time. So
Yep.
Guess who comes back? Machine and Pain to create a problem. And the reason they do that, excuse me, Judah finds out that Lucia and Iska are not finishing the trials.
Yeah.
So this potential where he now can accept the fact that he might not lose Lucia or Malam. Thank God for that. But that means that they've squandered the only chance that they have to create something powerful enough that he's convinced will get rid of the Makuro once and for all.
Yeah.
We just need a Primal Rider to do it.
Yep.
They're all gone, because at this point, they're all gone. The only ones left are the ones who aren't really going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Judah, even though he's not chosen by a god, Judah steals into Tantabus. He's convinced if he can somehow destroy this thing, somehow it can work. In the dream realm, Ray has a way of leeching his tentacles into people. Ray has known for a long time about Judah's ambitions, and he's been biding his time to make a move. So he leeches into Judah's head to try to convince him that he's a god that's choosing him to become his champion. All he's got to do is get the crown. You want a way to do that? I'll give you a way to do that. He provides the generals as support. Judah is so convinced that he can just make the most of this chance, that if he can get power, he'll kill the generals, he'll kill the crown, and he can be a hero. I can do this. I can. Even if it means what is Wu Fei's? I will become evil itself to make it happen. Right? So
I will learn what true justice is and become evil itself to find out.
Judah is so set on being the one to end everything. The Makuro come from the crown. The crown is my objective. I know what it is. I just gotta get to it. How do I get to it? Ray's actually gonna give me a chance to. Okay, then fuck you. I'm gonna do it. Okay. So that's his mentality. Deluded. He's foolish. But sometimes that's all it really takes. So his dedication to that gives them the opportunity to overcome every security measure that they had in Tentibus. They had magic of hallways that warp, that just lead into dead ends. They have 2 other lesser gods, 3, who are guarding the entire thing. The generals lay waste to the 2 lesser gods. The god graces that those 2 lesser gods are absorbed by Judah, and they become his armor, his rider armor, which we call Scorn, and his axe, which we call the Entropax, because I like name conventions. But the idea is, this is an abysmal form. This is just the embodiment of the maliciousness that he's going to because he's been denied power. I'll take it. This is what I'm doing. So Judah, doing this whole thing, draws the attention of Lucia and Iska, talking about, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you after the crown, you fucking moron? Right?
Yep.
So they try their best to stop him. They're fighting the generals. They're fighting Judah. It's a dogged fight, because you have to remember, Lucia is still his sister. She can't bring herself to kill him. She's probably as powerful as he is, given her level of connection to Malam. But her own restraint prevents her from landing any serious blow on Judah, which causes Iska to have to fight 3 fronts.
Yeah.
And
he's got this, guys. He's fucking got this.
So
fine.
Iska fighting
He's fine.
to protect Lucia, who can't bring herself to kill Judah, is where Kaito and Malam draw the line. They're about to be killed. Judah is so far gone that he's ready to do it, and the Mao crown is right there. So something terrible has to happen in order for something to work. There's no way to destroy the crown. They don't have a way. So they have to seal everything up, lock it away, because there's no other choice. Judah is almost about to win. They have no more primal riders. So Kaito and Malam take it upon themselves to give the last of their vestiges to create this monumental seal over Tantibus itself. The entire temple and everything inside gets locked in this seal that takes the last essences of their powers to create. Now, this seal freezes everything in time and space. It is just dead zone type of situation. Darkness, nothingness.
Farrah Missoula. Literally.
Farrah Missoula. Yes. But without Placido sex.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean,
maybe he's there.
He's probably hanging out somewhere. That place sucks. Hey, man. What are you doing here? I'm just locked outside of time and space. It's cool. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Him and Ray just crisp high five. Hey. That sounds terrible. Don't. No.
So, yeah. And that's the end of the Macro. Because they're cut off from the connection to the Macron, it's separated from them from an entirely different dimension of everything. The Macro are gone. Like that.
Yeah.
You won. We won. At what cost? Everything. But we won. So,
episode 1.
Right. So, this is kind of the ending of the
prequel episode.
Yeah. I'll leave it here for now. We'll introduce this beginning, but I'll stop it.
Yeah, I think the whole chunk that happens after this, where we introduce your character and everything, is literally a whole other episode we could talk about. So we'll do that next time. We can talk like Javi and the adventures of Javi and
So-
Gon.
So we'll say this for now. On the timeline, we have just finished everything up to
The ceiling,
the ceiling. Okay, so the Great Seal,
literally
is
halfway down this timeline.
halfway. So we've got half the story down.
Yeah.
But basically, what we did there was show you guys that this is the stem that we've branched story that we're going to tell. Now these characters are involved
Yes.
in that path, so it's not like we just wasted this whole time.
Yeah, we didn't just
All of
waste
these
an
characters-
hour and a half of your time for fucking bullshit. Okay, it was an hour.
Yeah.
It's fine. Relax. Don't be too excited. It was an hour. Calm down.
thank you.
I have more toys. Do you want me to press the button again? There you go.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm here. That's what I'm
So-
here for. There you go.
So yeah, the next
you
episode, I guess if we do this again, we'll do the second half. But
Yeah.
basically, all this prequel, this whole thing takes place about 3,000 years in the past. So 3,000 years forward, and Boko has just progressed. Okay, so it's not like the entire island is still medieval ages. So think of that: 3,000 years have passed, and now it's the modern age.
Yep. Literally 2024.
Yeah,
There
I
you
mean,
go.
I wrote that. Yeah,
Yeah, you wrote that, but yeah. Fake future 2024. That's what it is.
real future.
Real future. Real future. I am actually sealed away inside of Tantibus right now. In case you guys didn't know, this is my astral projection. You guys see every day. So,
So yeah,
just so you guys know.
definitely. Thank you. It's that was so much. That was way better than I was. I was worried I'm gonna be like Eminem. This is our idea, guys. This is just the basis.
Yeah.
We'll do the second half next time. The second half is the story that we're going to tell. I'm not going to tell the ending because I'm not gonna, and you can't
I'm
make.
gonna have to watch it or listen to it,
Gonna
I
have to
guess,
watch.
technically.
But I am going to tell you the bulk of the story and where we're heading and the characters involved. And yeah, you just met Iska, you met Lucia, you met Judah and Ray, and Panu, Pain, and Makine. So that's 5 of the 9. So you're already most of the way there.
3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, there's 2 more. 2 more you gotta.
Yeah.
2 more main characters you gotta meet,
Right.
and then the rest
And
is
that's-
cannon fodder.
So,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
thank you. Seriously, thank you. I can't wait for the next one. This
Yeah.
is, man, this is, oh my god, I feel like a weight just came off of me, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah. It's been
Hey,
like
okay,
super
so-
fun, like just dreaming up. Like it's so you kind of vaguely know, but I don't know how like deep you know it went. I used to do a lot of like freeform RPs, that kind of thing, like role playing stuff. But they were like
Yeah.
pen and paper kind of things. It wasn't like D&D where there was like dice rolls or anything like that. It was kind of just like you make a character and then you write that character and like other people write around you, and it was always really cool to do that. And this kind of feels like that again, where it's like you just kind of flex some creative writing muscles, and like it's also nice that like you can figure out a fucking story. I'm just gonna splash around in this fucking pool over here, like
Yeah, I mean, guys,
There you go.
we didn't even mention it, but Lucia's God Grace is something called World Before, where she can recall any event.
Oh, yeah.
And it's basically like she walks into a pool, the Gaia library of pools,
Mm-hmm.
and she can call up a memory and she can tell the story. But there's a catch. The story has to be told in the form of a poem. It's a haiku.
Yes.
She can't just like recite the story. She's telling you.
She has to
as
tell it in
sees
575 syllables. So
That's just
it's
that's just
usually going to be some kind of like misinterpreted, kind of jumbled nonsense. So you figure it the fuck out. Just so you guys know, Gon's Iska's Grace is Spidey sense. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So there you
It's the Ultra Instinct. It's
go. It's Ultra Instinct
it's
Spidey
baby
sense.
UI.
Yeah. It's
baby UI.
yeah, definitely Spidey sense.
But yeah, so again, we'll introduce the second half next show. Please stick around. I made and I gotta send it to you too. I made an email for this, so that if anybody wants to submit any voices, anybody wants to submit any ideas, that'd be cool too. Any writer ideas,
Yeah.
that's fine, because there is a second season that has a tournament arc.
It has
There
a
is a
tournament
second-
arc.
That has a tournament arc,
And it's
I'm
guest
working on
starring
that.
some of our old characters that died on the fucking table somewhere. Maybe.
Hiraiko was one of them.
Yeah, Hiraiko will definitely be in there. Absolutely. He's gonna fucking henshin and someone's gonna backhand him.
We'll treat him like Zillow.
Yes, that's exactly what's gonna happen. We have to have butt rock going the whole time too.
So yeah, so the email is tokudon@gmail.com. I will send you that sign in info. Sorry, forgot. But yeah, I'm definitely looking right now for voices. I have, and I guess I'll put it somewhere. I have a voice. I don't even know the right words for that. Yeah, I have lines that I've written for these characters for auditions. So I'll figure out a way to put that up somewhere so that it can be seen, and then yeah, go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure out how to do like a proper like a casting call, I guess, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that, and that's like a whole shebang, and I'm like, well, I don't have the capacity for that right now.
Some of them. So we need a narrator. The ones you have on here are a narrator, Ray, the main villain, if you guys are into villains, Lucia, Judah, Makine, Pain, and Mai. So you guys don't know who Mai is quite yet. I mean, you might know, but we haven't really gone into Mai so far. But I like Pain because I helped write that one.
Yeah. Pain is a very special creature because he went through the most changes out of all of them. But yeah, he was a samurai, then he became an ogre, then he was
now he's Gollum with a brain, with a lot more of a brain. So yeah.
But I have a bunch of character descriptions down here so they can kind of help you to get into the headspace. Please check out the episode so you can see, kind of more of the panels that we were writing in them. There's so much about this that, there's nuances in there that you don't really need unless you're interested. So, yeah.
So in the meantime, I would say just either hit us up on Twitter or you can, what was it, Tokudon series? Is it all one word?
Yeah.
Tokudon series at Gmail. You can either email that or just hit us up on Twitter. You guys we'll just send you the script in the meantime.
Yeah.
Until we figure something like that out. But yeah, if you guys want to try out, let us know. It'd be cool to hear your interpretations of these characters. Really, more than anything, I just want to hear a bunch of people do some fun voices. So
legit, this is the part that I was looking forward to so bad.
Yeah.
It's just hearing them come to life, bro. Like I can taste it. So yeah. Okay, so let's get out of here. Guys, you can find all of my stuff on YouTube too at 6 Echoes. There's a TikTok channel, 6 Echoes_Tokudon. Other than that, I guess I'm going to start doing more of this stuff on my own tweeters. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. So at 6 Echoes if you guys want to
at 6 Echoes on the Tweety Spaces.
On the Tweety Spaces.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Other than that, find me here on Sundays with this maniac.
Yeah, and y'all know who I am at this point, I think. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Quiz time. Who am I? Yeah, usually we're over on Twitter. If you guys are watching this on YouTube right now, usually we're Twitter. Jesus. We're over on Twitch.
Yep.
Twitch.tv/KaijuCarl. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over there. Sometimes on Sunday. Like, we're not going to be over here. We're usually over there. So if you don't see us live here, just go over there. It's usually probably something happened. I don't know. Technology hates me. So, I gotta change a lot of things. Sometimes I just get lazy. It happens. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7:30 sometimes. Again, because shit happens. I work a full-time job. Leave me alone. You guys can come hang out with me, and you're gonna hop in every once in a while. You hop in, usually hanging out and chatting shit anyway. You guys can always come hang out. We're usually playing games and talking about Toku and shit like that. So, yeah. This week we are going to probably play Legend of Dragoon tomorrow. As long as schedules allow. So we're going to check that out. Legend of Dragoon, one of our favorite RPGs, both of us. It's one of the things we bonded over early in our friendship. And we're going to check that out. I got it running. It looks as good as a fucking 4K PS1 game can look. So yeah, you could see extra lines on the pixels to where like you see the sharp pixel edge and how muddy it is. It's great.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like if you were to look at shit in super high def, it's great. Or just mud. Not even shit, just mud. So there's that. And then we're also going to check out more of Them's Fighting Herds because I am all about that fucking game. And that game is so much goddamn fun.
That was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to like that as much, but it's My Little Pony fighter. Literally, it started as My Little Pony. And my girl Shanty, she's dope. That freaking headbutt, man, puts you in like 40 goddamn frames of stun. It's so cool.
Not even fair. That's a god hand body blow.
Yeah, it's great. She's just wham. I also downloaded the other DLC character, Stronghoof. Yeah, that dude is crazy. He's voiced by your favorite voice actor that isn't Johnny Young Bosch. And he can throw giant ice weapons, and a little gnome dude can pick them up afterwards. So there's a character in Guilty Gear, I don't know if you're familiar with him, called Bedman, who essentially does a super special move, and he can replay the special move. So he'll like throw out a fireball, and then there's this replay symbol, and then if he does that, it'll throw out a second one, kind of thing. And it's a whole mechanic around that. Yeah, it's like a replay mechanic. Like you use it once, it's there. It's going to stay the same angle and everything when you do it again. So if you throw it's air fireball, you hit replay, it's going to be an air fireball again, whether you're on the ground or not. So it's interesting. You set some stuff up with that. This isn't quite as complicated, but same idea. You do a special move, and like his light Hadouken, he'll like swing. What does he swing? I think it's an axe. He'll swing an axe straight down, like an ice axe, like an ice battle axe. He just forms a fucking axe and swings it, and it'll be stuck in the ground. And then you hit it again, his little gnome buddy picks it up and swings it the other direction. It's fucking cool. So you can kind of get combo stuff off that. So you can hit like twice with the special move kind of deal. And there's a different angle when the gnome guy swings it, so you can play with that. Combos are really kind of nuts. Like there's wall slams, and like he's all about wall bounces and coast to coast shit.
Right.
He's dope.
I'm excited.
There's also there's a fucking Princess Mononoke skin. So yeah, it's gonna be that one. So we're gonna check that out because that game is fucking cool. I did not expect that game to be as cool as it is. I kind of am very surprised. Oh, hit it again. I'm very surprised. I am very much enjoying them fighting Hurts. But we're gonna do that, and then we're also gonna continue our challenge run of Elden Ring at some point, probably Friday. And I want to get more Beneath Oresa in there somewhere. Might do an extra stream this week, or maybe we'll do a build and chill. But either way, twitch.tv/KaijuCarl. You can also find me at Kaiju Carl. If you want to find out what I finalize on a schedule, I'll post something up at some point, or I'll just post it 10 minutes before we go live, or 5 minutes after we go live, like I did today. So I'll keep you on your toes. So that's really what it is. I like to keep you guys on your toes.
Consistently inconsistent here.
Yeah, glued to your social media, because that's what everyone wants to be, glued to social media. We're consistently inconsistent, as our friend Dorky here likes to remind us of. We haven't uploaded an episode in a minute.
We're on it.
I'm working on it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to finish the Genta video.
Yeah.